Good afternoon, evening, and welcome to Magic Partners Live. We're here, all three of us this week. Yahoo! I've got Chase and Bryan with me. Fantastic. Another huge week in Disney. How are you guys going this week?
Doing well here. I'm
Awesome.
doing great.
That's good. That's good. It's been another huge week in Disney, and I know Chase has been excited all week. Because there's been something going on at Disneyland that we want to talk about this morning that has been a real ray of sunshine for a lot of people over there, and that is the Magic Key. Ba-ba-da-ba. Yay! Before we get started, I just remind everyone to please subscribe to the channel. If you're watching, please drop us a comment. I'm trying to monitor them this morning. It's this morning in Australia because sometimes I miss some of the comments, but today I've got my eyes peeled. I'll be looking for them. And give us a like if you like the stream. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone around the world who loves Disney. So Magic Key, Chase, and Bryan, what did you guys think of it? Are you happy with everything that's going on? Tell me all about it, because I know, Chase, you've been loving this announcement.
Absolutely. I can't wait for this. It's like, they made the announcement and they're like, they teased it, of course. So it's like, oh, we've got some great stuff for you tomorrow. And it's like, I have to wait till tomorrow. And it's like, then it came and everybody was thrilled. So many people like even the big YouTubers were like, oh, great. This is going to be like a, buy 3, buy 5, get 1 free. And they're like, they were so worried about it. And then this came out and they're like, wow, it's not actually that different from what we already have. So the big difference here is the fact that you're making reservations in order to get into the park instead of just being able to walk in and out as you please. So I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. I've never had an issue with the reservation system, so I think that'll be good. And the other big difference, of course, that's tough for some people is only the very top tier is for parking, covers parking.
Oh, okay.
So the second one down does have a discount on. So the Belief Key has the discount on parking, which is a 50% discount. So that makes it about $12, $13 to park, and because it's about $25 to park for the day at Disneyland.
Yep.
So that's not too bad. That's definitely the key I intend on getting. It's very, very similar to what I had in the annual pass program. So even the prices seem to be really on par or even less expensive than what people were thinking. But and then the Imagine Key at the bottom is just available for Southern California residents. So unless you're from there, you can do that, but it also has the most blackout dates, and I do have those blackout dates further down on the page, so you can see. But people have been able to bring up the calendars and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, the Imagine Key has a ton of days that you're not able to go.
Yeah.
But if you just want a completely open schedule, go ahead and get that Dream Key.
That looks pretty impressive. How does it compare to the old system? So just fill me in on the parking situation. So on the old system, all the passes had free parking attached to them. Was that the way it was, Chase? Or
I don't think so. I think the top 2 did. And then there was but I think I can't remember the exact names of all of them. There were quite a few, but I know the most expensive one definitely had it. It was covered on mine. And I think after that, as you went down, then you didn't have parking covered. So
Okay. Yep.
this is just one key that has parking completely covered, and that's the most expensive one.
Yep.
So, but I mean, it's probably the least of your worries if you're able to have a program like this, which is, like I said, very, very similar to what we had before.
Yep.
And it's just now you have reservations. And of course, people were worried. They're like, does that mean I can only go 6 times a year? No, you can only hold 6 reservations at a
At what?
time.
Oh, okay. Right.
So
Yep.
as soon as you go for a day, you can go another day. So
Yep.
just keep on adding one day on to whatever you do.
Yep.
So for
Yep.
frequent visitors, it's going to work just fine for you, because after you use your one, just go and get another one. So
Yep.
you'll always be holding 6.
Yep.
And then, of course, the other worry was, is it going to take 2 reservations to do a park hopper? No. It's they are automatically assumed to be park hoppers, every single one. So starting at 1 o'clock, you'll be able to go over to the other park that you didn't start at. You still
Yep.
have to start at either Disneyland or California Adventure, but then at 1 o'clock you can go on over to the other park.
Yep.
So, so that's a good thing there. Also, if you had passes if you had passes sitting around that you've paid for, you can go ahead and apply that price to the the key of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's going to work with the Southern California deal that's going on until September,
Right.
where you get the 3 days for it ends up coming out to like 83 a day.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think you'll be able to do that. I believe it just have to be like a regular day, that you're like, if you bought a ticket before before August 25th, you can most definitely apply it to upgrading to a Magic Key.
Okay. Yep.
So that'll be but when you do that, just keep in mind that you will have to pay all of it right then. So if you spent 100 and what is it, like 159, I think is what it comes out to for a standard day on base pricing, and then you add a park hopper, whatever the difference is will be due when you upgrade.
Oh, okay.
So
Getting it. Getting it.
only California residents are able to do the monthly payments. So
Right.
You can see what that breaks down to. All of them require a $179 deposit. And then you can just pay the rates for the monthly if you're that type of resident. I know they were having an issue with that when they sunset the first program, because people were still being charged after they'd stopped. While the parks were closed, people were still paying on their annual passes. So I'm kind of surprised that they kept that system, to pay by the month, but it's there, and I'm sure some people will love the idea that they can do that.
Yeah. Yep. I was interested on your thoughts, Brian, how this compares to the pass system over there in Disney World. How do you think it compares? Do you think it's better, this system, or you like the way yours comes out at Disney World? I'm interested to know the comparison there.
So, I mean, there's a lot of similarities to them,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean, aside from the fact that out here, whichever pass you get, I think up to like the silver pass, which is like the lowest of the passes that get you into like all 4 parks, you get the free parking with all of those.
Right.
But I think something that is great about this, that is better about this than the one that we have in Walt Disney World, is how many reservations you can hold at one time. You can hold 6 at a time.
Right.
Out here, we can only hold 3, which kind of makes it hard to maybe like plan a little bit further ahead. Like if you
Yep.
have a friend that knows that you're going to go for their birthday, you pick up that day and then you only have like 2 that you can really mess around with. I right now have 2 that are completely booked. I have one for the last night of Happily Ever After fireworks,
Wow.
and I have one for, of course, the 50th celebration. So I've been able to only hold one more at a time, which I've been getting just weekly basically, and just going off of whatever is available. So which luckily we have had like basically full availability. It hasn't been an issue really for the annual pass holders as of lately, which has been really nice. But I wouldn't be surprised to see when our passes come back some tweaks to the system that might make it similar. And I'm hoping one of those tweaks will be maybe more reservations.
Yeah.
But we will see. They didn't give any information. So, but I know they did say they will be resuming those sales before the 50th. And I think they said that there will be more info given out later in August. So we'll look forward for that. Definitely.
And to the both of you, do you think this reservation system will go away eventually? And then, no, you think the reservation system?
Soon.
No. Okay.
No, I think
Disneyland
really, I think Disney loves reservation systems. Not only is it able to help them schedule their staff and cast members, but it also kind of keeps an eye on how many people are going to the park that day. Where do they need to have the most coverage? I'm pretty sure that, because this goes well into the fact that they've got this scheduled all the way into next year. I don't think Disney is getting rid of reservations. I think this is how it's going to be for a long time.
So how does that work if you're sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Why?
So how does that work if you're an out-of-state visitor, say, or an international traveler, and you're staying at one of the hotels? You're only there for 6 days. Obviously, you can reserve those 6 at Disneyland. If you're over in Disney World, though, obviously you land, you go to your hotel. For people staying on property, are reservations already there for them, or how does that work?
Yeah, so just like, basically what you do if you're coming from out of state or whatever and you're staying at one of the resorts, you can book for each day that you're staying. You don't have the issue where you can only book 3 at a time.
Oh, okay.
You have 5 days linked to your reservation that you're in at that hotel. You can book all 5 of those days at the parks already, as long as you have your admission and it's not already full, of course.
Full.
So they don't have the same issue as annual pass holders. So I do know when pass holders were having issues out here getting reservations. Some of them booked stays at some of the hotels, and they kind of got around the system that way because then that was separate. So, it's a little more in their favor at that point. If you're staying as a resort guest.
Yeah. So do you need to, just so I get this right, do you need to book a couple of weeks earlier than your stay and make sure those reservations are in place? Or does Disney just have a set amount of reservations for guests staying in the park? Do they reserve them pre? It's just an interesting...
I think I know what you're trying to ask.
Yeah.
So what I know, like out here, what they have to do is this: as soon as you have your hotel reservation booked, you need to go. You need to go to the ticket reservation system and just reserve the days at the parks that you want. Otherwise, when you get here, they might not have the availability in the parks those days. So as soon as you make your reservation at the hotels and you have your admission, whether it be a day ticket or a pass, because a lot of hotel guests are pass holders too. You just book all the days that you are staying, but you want to do it as far in advance as you can, because otherwise, if you wait until you get here, those days might be full, especially around the holidays. Yeah,
absolutely. So for you, Chase, when you're going down to Disneyland for your birthday, you would need to book your park reservation weeks, pretty much now, wouldn't you? to make sure you
Yeah,
get the day.
I'm not going for my birthday just because of the fact that this system starts the very next day. So
Right.
now I'm postponing my trip for a little bit until after the Haunted Mansion opens in September.
Good idea. Yep.
So that I'll be able to at least see that. I want to see the Halloween version of the mansion. It's one of my favorites. And
Yep.
so this way I'll be able to get my magic key as sort of like a birthday present to myself.
Yep, for sure.
And then I'll be able to start going to the park and probably do these day trips like I was doing before.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yep.
So the fact that it starts the day after my birthday, that postponed the trip right there.
Absolutely,
gift to
absolutely.
yourself.
Yeah, that's an awesome birthday gift. Hey, tell me a little bit more about the pass. So on top of everything that's listed here, obviously, say if we look at the top tier, you're getting a 20% select merchandise and 15% off select beverages, food and beverages. But there's also a few extra things, isn't there? There's like a lounge for Magic Key. Magic Key.
Yeah, and this was the same thing for the annual pass.
Okay.
They have a restaurant over in California Adventure that they
Yep.
It's right over the winery. So if you go to
right.
if you go right in there, it's a little cove. You'll miss it if you don't look for it. It's kind of hard to find it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a stairway going up. There's
Yep.
basically a spot for you to stand with a concierge at the front, and you just show them your annual pass, or in this case, you'll show them the key. And there's a little place up there that has some appetizer type of foods and some exclusive drinks.
Okay.
So these are specific to holders and their family. Up to I'm not sure if they'll do a certain number. But
Yep.
It used to be like a limited number of family could go up there with you. I never had a chance to go up there, even with my pass, but it is a nice, quiet, shady little spot that looks right over the pier.
Oh,
So
very nice.
it's a very, very nice place
It's a really
to
nice
go.
spot.
And
Yep.
and so they're just rebranding it. They're just renaming it. So from what it was. And so that's kind of nice. And then,
Yep.
of course, if you buy 66 days, if you buy your key within 66 days, you get a really nice little bonus package,
Okay.
a gift package that they send you that's going to have an exclusive pin,
Mm-hmm.
also some magnets, and a couple of other things. Just a really nice booklet welcoming you to the key holder program.
Yep.
And that's going to be kind of cool. So
Yeah.
for all those people who are going to be like me, who are going to try and get it on August 25th, be patient because
Yeah.
the website is going to crash.
Yeah.
Don't expect it not to.
Yep. It always
Disneyland
does.
has the worst queue system for online, so it's
Yep.
going to crash. You're going to crash. You're going to wait for hours, but man, it'll be so worth
Worth
it.
the wait. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be similar to when the park first opened, right? So to get a reservation then. So yeah, look, and what's it physically? Have we seen a picture of the physical pass yet, or the key, or?
No, they don't. They haven't said whether it will, whether you'll get a physical card or whether you'll have either a section within the official Disneyland app or a individual app that will be for you to download if you're a key holder. So they haven't said if it will be any of these yet. They haven't showed a physical card or an app for this. So it's I'm guessing that it will most likely be something. You may get a card, because not everybody uses a smartphone these days.
Yeah.
So you'll probably get a physical card, and then you'll probably have access within the app. You can store all your tickets and passes on the app already.
Yep.
that's a thing. So I have a feeling that that's going to continue being the case.
Yep.
A lot of people are saying give us a physical key.
Yeah, that'd be
But I
awesome.
don't think
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
Well, they've called it like the Magic Key. Like when I first saw it, I thought awesome. You're going to get like a key, because like over in Disney World, you've got like a disc, which you can slot inside the Magic Bands, which is a really great
it's
idea.
Magic Bands,
Yeah.
Walt Disney World has Magic Bands.
The puck.
Maybe
Yeah.
we actually get our key.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it would be nice to do something like that.
Magic Mobile Pass, on the MPE. So I mean, we just use our phone and just put it up there.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome. It's currently here. Let me pull it up for you really quick. I'll show you.
Yep.
See, it's the Millennium Falcon.
Right. Awesome.
So it wouldn't surprise me to see them do that over at Disneyland too. With also the card, because obviously, like Chase said, there's people that don't have smartphones. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And they just released the open use sort of hotel room door with your phone now. So I would suspect that that's paving the way to doing something with the Magic Key on your phone for sure. But I'd love to see a physical key as part of it. I think that would be awesome.
It would really be something. I'd be so worried about forgetting it or losing it.
But if you do, you've got your phone to back you up. But just to get that key in the mail would be, I think, would be something special. Anyway,
maybe even just like a pin that comes with the card in the mail.
Yeah, whatever. Something. I mean, it's an awesome merchandise. You think of the Magic Bands, and that's just a huge merchandising idea for Disney. So you'd think that they could do something that, something like that, and then they could, get your key surround or something like that. That would increase. It just sounds like Disney that they might do something like that. But we'll wait and see till the physical key arrives, and we expect to see everything about it when you actually purchase it, Chase, and maybe we can come to you live when you're lining up to grab it or something like that. We'll work something out. But anyway,
right, like me waiting in the queue. Guess what, guys? I'm going to be here for 6 hours.
Yeah. And so I mean, like the annual pass holder situation, we used to have a lot of exclusive merchandise as well, didn't we? We used to have those AP stickers, which everyone wanted to get their hands on, and there are a few things that are coming out. I heard Popcorn Bucket and a few other exclusive products that you can buy when you get inside the park to kind of show your key pride, as you've said here, Chase.
Yeah, so right there, they've right there in the section that you're looking at, there's some other types of perks that they've got. So there's going to be like a key holder month of celebration where there will be special merchandise available just for key holders. There's going to be food options that are available around the year. Probably food and drink kind of things that are available to key holders. Special little merchandise thing like the popcorn buckets and, probably things like tumblers and all that kind of stuff. There'll definitely be, magnets and stickers of some sort. That's really, really easy for them to do. So it's, it's going to be a chance for them to still market it. There's plenty of stuff that they can sell to you for, with the discount that everybody gets. So, I think the Dream Key is the one that has definitely the best discount at like 20%. I think it's 20% on merch and then 15% for food. Or is it the other way around? Is it
20% for merch and 15% for food? Yep, you're right.
Okay.
Yep.
And then of course I think everybody, as they go down, I think it's 10% for each for all the other ones.
Correct.
I think.
Yeah, it is 10% for everything else. Yep.
The only difference was that I slightly got more with my annual pass. I had like 15% and then 10. So 15% on merch and I think 10 on food. So it'll be nice to have that for the food and merch. It really makes a difference. It adds up, when you're shopping. But really an interesting thing is about when you're a pass holder and you can just go. it's to Disney's, they know that there's that downside to it. When you can go that much, it's almost like having the collection at your fingertips. It's really, you don't have to take so much home and haul it all back. And
yeah.
because you can just constantly go and
Yep.
find some little thing here and there that you want to get. But there are so many places that it's accepted, and the discount, of course, will also work in downtown Disney. So
Yep.
you've got a lot of great restaurants there that accept the annual pass until August 15th is the cutoff date
Right.
for that. So
Okay.
we'll be able to use our legacy
Yep.
pass until August 15th. And then then there'll be a break in that before the key holders come out.
Yep. And what about something like Shop Disney? Can you go online and purchase at the 20% off?
I don't believe so. I
Right.
haven't seen any.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
haven't
so
seen
either.
anything where it asks to input an annual pass at all. So I don't think Shop Disney has something like that, but I do know that if you do have a Disney Visa, you do get like 10% back on stuff like from Shop Disney or the Disney parks if you're buying stuff there. So the Disney Visa card gives you money back for purchases for Shop Disney and wherever you shop at the park. So that's kind of a bonus. I have one myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Shop Disney, they've only done the the pass holder discounts like a couple times online.
Right.
That was when the parks were closed.
Yeah.
And they just did it online for a little bit. And then once everything started reopening, like downtown Disney and Disney Springs and stuff, I don't know if they did it for the California ones, but I know they did it for us out here in Walt Disney World. I mean, it didn't say Walt Disney World exclusive. It just said AP30 discount. So I don't know. But anyone who had that code could use it. So
because I was just going to say people would be buying annual passes just so that they could go online and shop Disney if that was the case. Because, you see people online like spending $5,000 at a time in Shop Disney, and it's like that's at 20%. That's like $1,000 off that purchase. So I mean, it would
sell out in the parks that are still available on the website, and I'm just like, if I got my discount, I'd for sure get it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's probably why they haven't done it, because they'd be
Especially since I got shipping.
Yeah. Awesome. So I know a lot of people were anxious to get this news, including you, Chase, and so happy it's out. Yep. I
was surprised how quickly they implemented it. I was thinking, man, we're not going to hear anything until like October, maybe November. It will we may hear about they said by the end of the year. So I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be at the end of the year, and then boom, we're probably going to have something set in on the first of, maybe next year, or in December maybe. But this was fast. This is amazing. And it's just it came up out of nowhere. And then I saw August 25th. So I'm like, yes, it's going to be a birthday present for myself.
Yeah, I know a lot of people got excited around Disneyland. It's great to have some sort of system back. And this looks awesome. I think everyone is pretty much happy with it. Of course, guys, if you've got any questions for us regarding anything to do with anything that we discussed today, drop a comment right now and we can get back to you, or just drop a comment on the playback and we can get back to you straight away. Indeed, if you've got any questions, go over to our Facebook group and page, drop a question there if you like. Go over also to DisneylandToday.net, drop a question there. Chase will be only happy to get back to you. And also drop a comment on one of Bryan's videos over at Bryan's Magic Life. He'd be more than happy to answer anything as well. And Bryan's looking pretty good for that 200 subscribers. We're getting up there, aren't we, Bryan? Yeah. Yes. It's getting closer and closer.
Around.
Yeah, so make sure you go over there and subscribe to the channel because we're looking to get him to 200 before we start the 50th over there in Disney World, which is coming close. It's only weeks away, actually, till the 50th.
It's only a couple months, really. It's less than a couple months now.
Yeah, and while we're talking about the 50th, we got, if I can just go over to it, we got some sneak peek at some merchandise that's coming for the 50th. I know you've got reservation to go for the first day, haven't you? Is that October 1, isn't it? The first day.
October 1st, absolutely. I will be there bright in the morning. I actually have a friend, one of my Instagram friends that does Disney and stuff as well. Yep. He's going to be staying down here for the 50th, and he's going to let me stay at his hotel at the Pop Century for the night before, so that way I don't have to worry about driving there in the morning. Yeah. I can just we're going to get there as early as we can. It's going to be fun, and we're going to be looking for like the special merchandise, obviously, any like shows or anything going on, because I know when Disney did their 50th, they had a bunch of like different people perform and stuff like that. So hopefully they'll do that out here too. I'm also just excited because I was one of the people that got to go to the actual 50th birthday of Disneyland, and I want to be able to do it out here too. So like,
awesome!
How many people can say that, right?
Yeah, yeah. You must be getting on a few years there,
It's so fun
to have done that. But that's awesome. Yeah, that's great news, and we look forward to seeing the vlogs and seeing you there. Maybe we can come to live to that day. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, that might get cut up into parts.
Yeah, I think there'll be a few vlogs coming out of that one.
There's going to be a lot.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel before this happens, guys, because we're going to see lots of stuff coming through, Bryan. Also, I noticed while we're talking about the 50th and everything else, that there was a bit of a pass holder preview that's coming up for Ratatouille as well. Yes. So have they sent you an invite to that specifically, Bryan, or
not? Yeah, they said to be on the lookout for it soon, though, so I am constantly checking my inbox for that. They didn't give a specific date yet, but they did say be on the lookout for that to come anytime. So, I'm waiting for that.
So we should get a pass holder preview in the next few weeks. It'll definitely be before the October 1st, won't it, that it happens?
Oh, yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, so that'll be awesome. As to what else is going on in Disney World, so you also get a pass to go in to the last, to the ending of a very popular fireworks show at Disney World, at Magic Kingdom there. And that's what day is that finishing? What date is that?
September 29th.
Oh, right before the 50th, yeah. So we're gonna see a new show for the 50th, but Happily Ever After was a hugely popular show, so I know there'll be a few tears. Yeah, I know there'll be a few tears when that sort of ends. How much do we know about the new show that's coming when that ends for the 50th?
Well, we know that there's going to be a different show, obviously. It's going to be a big spectacular. They're going to have the projections as always, and actually now with that new one, they're going to be doing projections all down Main Street too. So that's not something they've done at Walt Disney World before.
No.
So I'm super excited for that. I already have my spot picked out where I'm going to watch it when I go.
Yep.
Me and my friend are prepared to camp out that spot if we have to take turns getting food later in the day.
Yep.
But we know where we're camping out for sure for that to get a good view of everything. I'm super excited. But aside from that, they haven't really given too many more details. But yeah, Disney Enchantment, I think it's called. I think it's Enchantment.
Yep.
It's Enchantment or Enchanted. So, but yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I think it's Enchanted. But sounds...
Maybe.
I mean, if we know anything about Disney, apparently what I heard this week as well, they've put the 50th disc on the castle early so they can get the projection mapping right as well. So it sounds like they're putting a lot of time and effort into it. And that new 50th disc just completes the castle and shimmers in the sun very well from what I saw from your vlog a couple of vlogs ago. Yeah. So that's...
And you guys have talked about it before. It's incorporated into every second of the current Happily Ever After. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be incorporated into every second of Disney Enchantment. I did look it up. It is Disney Enchantment. So I wanted to make sure I had that right for everyone.
Yep. No worries. So, the other thing that was coming up happened at Disney World was that President Biden's animatronic, I'm going to say, in Hall of Presidents went live.
Yeah.
Was that a bit of a fanfare or when it happened, Bryan, do you know? Or
I saw a lot of people just excited that Hall of Presidents was reopened, not necessarily because Biden's animatronic is there or that anyone else is set to the back now or anything like that. They're just excited that Hall of Presidents is reopened. I know a lot of people like that show. Not even, like I said, for whoever the current president is, just because there's a lot of history in it, and there's a lot of history buffs that come to Disney World. It's also a great way to get like 20 minutes of air conditioning. So
I watched it. I actually watched it on YouTube, and I think the majority of the show is just the narrator saying each of their names. So it's just like, and there's quite a bit of pause in between each one because they spotlight them. And so she announces their name, and then all the heads turn to wherever they are. It's kind of eerie, but they all look in the direction of whoever's being introduced, which is just like, it's like watching a bunch of meerkats. All the heads just suddenly move.
It really is. It's funny.
And let's talk about. Sorry, Jace, cool. Go ahead. Let's talk
it's fine.
Let's talk about crowd levels as well. I'm just going to throw up your blog here, Bryan. Let's talk about crowd levels in the park as well, because this video is pretty much about sort of crowd levels, and this to me, like, huge amount of a crowd there. And let's have a look at that 50th emblem there as well. But the crowds are getting huge there at Disney World now, aren't they? Would you say the parks are full, or?
I would say like they're not like full, like they're not at like capacity of what they can hold, obviously. But they're getting more full. More people are coming. They're probably
even in the rain,
reaching like the capacity of what they would normally reach this time of year. So it's just, me and my brother were talking about why the lines are so long like this. It's because there are some things that are still not open, that would be people eaters, as we say. Some of those shows, for one, like Hall of Presidents, that reopened, that's going to have people coming in to get that AC or to just see all the animatronics. Another thing, Monster Inc. Laugh Floor, which is reopening, I think this Sunday, actually, the 8th. That's going to be another thing that draws crowds. And then the meet and greets, where you used to have to go wait in line to go see them and hug them and have those pictures. The line, while they look daunting, they end up moving pretty quickly. They just they're coming out longer because less things are available for them to go wait in line for.
And when you go on the People Mover, as you are now, when you come around and see a Tron coaster, that must be exciting. And how's construction going for that as well in the parks? Is it looks pretty
like
advanced?
The construction is coming along really well, actually. But they still haven't said anything about when it's going to open. I still believe next year, 2022. That's still my thought. I'm pretty sure that's what they're aiming for at this point, because I know originally it was supposed to be this year before everything happened. But I'm pretty sure it'll be next year, possibly late next year, though. But it looks fantastic. The track is all basically there. That hole that had been closed up that goes into the building is reopened, so that means they're doing more work to go through there. Like I said, all they basically got to do is add the outdoor stuff, like the roofing, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And then like probably groundwork and stuff too, and then they got to figure out how the train is going to run through there, because that's what I want to know.
That's interesting.
Something that goes underneath it.
Because the train's still not running and the tracks are just sitting there still, aren't they? So no one knows what's going to happen there.
Yeah, if you look right here, I'm gonna point down to the left.
Yeah.
You're gonna see like where there's still track, and the
Oh,
only way I
yeah.
can see it going
Yeah.
through that area
Yeah.
if if on the other side, like there's like some tunnel where it goes like underneath the
Neath,
walkway
yeah.
of Tron or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see.
But I'm not sure.
Yep. Yep. And so we're looking spring next year, or is it fall that we're looking for an opening there of Tron? I think it's fall, isn't it?
I mean, I would love for it to be spring, but I'm thinking it'll be closer to like the fall,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
who knows? Sometimes Disney just ramps up everything and gets going faster, and then it opens sooner. So hopefully it'll be sooner than later.
Yeah.
But I believe 2022 for sure.
Awesome. So let's stay with Walt Disney World here. We had a bit of an announcement this week, and that caused a fair bit of controversy. And I'll bring both of you in for comments on this one. But we got some pricing for what we've been hearing about a lot lately, and I've been very impressed with. But one thing I haven't been impressed with, of course, is the price.
Yeah.
Look. I'm gonna step out on a limb to start off with here, and just before I get you guys to sort of sort of drop your jaws at the price. I know this is a pretty immersive experience, right? Like there would be a lot going into back scenes, and look. I kind of think this is why Disney didn't get this sort of immersiveness in Galaxy's Edge, because it's just too expensive to create, right? So they've come up with this pricing that we'll see down below here. Now, this isn't everything either, so just bear in mind, everyone that's watching, that we're just talking, so these are the rooms, we'll get back to them later. This is just for a standard room. So when they say starting from, this really is starting from. And when you look at these prices, you really think that the average person can't afford this, right, guys? It's
the average Star Wars fan isn't going to be able to go to this.
Yeah. So let's just talk about this then. So do you think this is a bit of a tester at this point in time to see how many people will go at that price, and then we might see a discounted price come in for low? Because there's only 100 rooms on the Star Cruiser, and I get the feeling that Disney's treating this like one of their cruises, right? Because it's a fully immersive experience.
Yeah.
You get all the food included in this price. And you get a trip down to Galaxy's Edge. We don't know how different it's going to be for you compared to a normal person going to Galaxy's Edge. How they'll manage the fact that you're doing something different around the crowd that's already there will be interesting as well to know. Those questions.
I got some information on this. I was watching somebody talking about it, and they pulled up basically an itinerary of what each guest gets who's staying at the Star Cruiser.
Yep.
And basically from the moment you get in, you're following a set schedule. And this
everything is completely planned every second.
Yep.
Yeah, every bit of it. From the time you walk in, there's they have like a walk around tour, like an introduction to the whole area and what you can expect. Here's this, that, and the other, and then they have plans for you. So they go out to, I think at on the first day, you have like an 8:30 flight down to Batu, and then by like 12:30, 12:40. They get you back. One of the things that they said you're wearing is that there's going to be some sort of band that they give you that will store information about your character and your role. You're supposed to be able to pick something like a light side, dark side, kind of type of thing, like a lot like the Batu stuff that's on the app right now. Like you can decide
Mhm.
whether you want to be like Sith or Light Jedi or Smuggler or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that will ultimately, like, if anybody comes up to you, they're like, "Hey, I want to scan your like data thing," and they'll look at what's on your watch, and basically the stuff that they said that they were going to do in Galaxy's Edge, and find out where you're affiliated, and will be based on the reactions that you get from different people, or saying, "Hey, I've got some information for you." That'll be part of the interactivities. So this band will most likely be able to set apart hotel guests Star Cruiser guests compared to just those visiting Batuu on a regular day. Now, it's got to be really interesting. Like, how together do they have to stay? Because you can't just miss going back to the resort. It's not like they're shuffling people back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to, I would think it's almost like a group that has to stick together, and then they go back at a very specific time. Because you can't always just say, "Hey, be sure you're back here at like 12:40. They could be in the middle of a ride. They could, who knows what they could be doing. They could be getting food. So I'm wondering if there's going to be like an escort with them at all times, kind of like a VIP tour.
Right.
I think
they'll get
is.
They'll have somebody from the Star Cruiser with them, and maybe even able to get them onto the attraction quickly. All together, so that they have everybody, and then they can say, "Okay, guys, it's time for us to get back to the ship. We have, things to do. They need us over there." Have some sort of mission planned or whatnot. So I have a feeling that it'll run something like that, which will enable them to get everybody back in time to do the next thing on the list, on the itinerary.
Yeah, I mean, the food looks good. The experience is immersive. You get your sort of lightsaber training. You're going to get to see that awesome, realistic lifesaver in the flesh as well. We've seen that a couple of times now. We've seen it in the hands of Rey, and we've also seen it in the hands of some of the Imagineers, haven't we, as well? So that in itself looks awesome. It's just, look, if we could all afford it, we'd all be there. But I think it's going to be out of reach for quite a few people. But then, they're thinking about this next year. Perhaps the international borders are open by then, and they're getting the world coming in to see it. So, those prices could hold for a fair time. That because there are a lot of rich people in the world. Me not being one of them, but
absolutely,
yeah, but. I mean, here's the sort of things we were talking about, Chase. Those are lifesaver training, bridge training, the excursion to Batuu. You can relax in the sublight lounge. Now, I heard there was some sabacc training as well, and then a big sabacc tournament with all the aliens, so it'll be interesting. So, and here's the kind of thing that...
yes, there's the itinerary.
Yeah. So... I mean, even the launch to the Star Cruiser would be cool. I mean, this is all good. The other thing that you're allowed to do is you're allowed to fully dress up on board as well. So you can cosplay everything. I don't know if that includes masks as yet. But the fact that you can cosplay, because you can't do that in the parks. I mean, the most you can do, right, Bryan, is to sort of... look at Disney Bound, which you've done quite a few times in Galaxy's Edge. So that would be an awesome part of it, to be, dressed up in whatever you like. But, if you wanted to sort of be a stormtrooper or something like that, I don't know if you could wear a mask or even...
unexpected story moment.
Right?
Yeah.
Scheduled.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the First Order is going to walk in on you.
Probably. They probably don't want to reveal what's going on, so you get a bit of a shock, right? But
right.
yeah. But
broker a deal for a heist. That's interesting. Arrange to steal a ship from the First Order. Can I steal a ship from the First Order? That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be good. Like that'd be great to get into a starfighter Sorry, a TIE fighter.
Can I just plan my unexpected story moment? That'd be
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
I'm paying $6,000. Let me.
Yeah. Oh dear. So let's just go back to those. To where were we? Let's go back to the planning situation and have a look at those prices again, and have a look at what's included and everything like that. So this is the standard cabin. So this is what we're talking about when we look at the pricing. So you're going to get, a mini refrigerator, hairdryer, in cabin, say, blah, blah, blah. They look pretty lacking in features. I mean, you can then go up to a Galaxy class suite where you start looking like, okay, like I can kind of understand spending that kind of money in this suite, but this is going to be like a tier above the standard. And then you got the Grand Captain suite. So I don't know, what do you have to, drop $20,000 here to get into the Grand Captain? We just don't know. But, having a look, at 4 guests per cabin, this cabin right here, which is a standard cabin, which is $6,000. So, yeah.
I wouldn't expect it. I mean, it's got to be like 8, 9, 10 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk about, say, a suite on one of the cruise ships, like one of those, massive suites, you're looking at that on a cruise ship. But that's for like 7 nights. That's for like 7 nights. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's like, I think it was for the concierge level, which is like the best level. So it basically would be like that top level that we're talking about. It was, I think, like 6 or 7 grand for a 7-night cruise.
Yeah.
And you get you're not confined to anything. I mean, obviously you're on a ship, so you're confined to whatever's on the ship, but it's not like every second is planned out and you're kind of confined to every minute of every day being planned for you basically by Disney.
Yep. Yeah, guys, drop a comment and tell us what you think of the pricing. I know what those comments are probably going to be all about, but tell us if you agree with it. Tell us if you think it's a fair price or not, and whether you'll obviously go and stay there. I know all 3 of us would love to, but it's going to be probably out of our reach.
Even if we were to split it, it'd be out of our reach.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a family of 4 having to spend $6,000, even if you're traveling to the parks. To spend $6,000 on 2 nights. Whew, yeah, it's hard to imagine.
If you got a full week,
I mean, it's great that you get all that included. I mean, it's great that you don't have to worry about park reservations. You don't have to worry about your ticket. It's all taken care of. You don't have to worry about your food, your drinks, anything like that. That's great. But man, it's still big.
A little steep.
Yeah.
A little steep.
Yep.
I'd just be very intrigued to see sort of when they let the press in and when we get a few vloggers in there to see what it's actually like and what the experience is actually like. And then
I'll live it vicariously through a YouTuber.
Yeah. And then we can have a real conversation about value, right? Because then we can see actually what's happening, and then we can see there might be something that really surprises us and we change our minds completely.
Unless somehow they don't let you film it, which could be a possibility.
Yep.
That's true.
And Disney, if you're listening, 3 tickets, please, would be great. And a flight, of course, to Orlando International for me would be awesome. But as if that's going to happen, but you never know. Anyway, moving on. Seeing we're talking about cruise ships, let's take a look at what happened, what we got to look at this morning. And this was the construction of the Disney Wish. We've been hearing huge amounts of information on the Disney Wish. I know that Disney looks like they're very excited for this to come along, which is destined for next year. And this is just a quick look at the construction updates. Geez, it's coming along. It's getting close, isn't it? It's For me, it's a bit. It's not Disney until it's got the final paint job, but we can see most of the ship is together. Looks like they're
it's getting there.
Getting pretty close. Yeah, getting pretty close.
It's got to be amazing working on a cruise ship because, it's not something you can just mass produce. Like you could just, pop out a car on an assembly line.
Yep.
These are something that you really have to build like a building. And it's like trying to put together a skyscraper. You have to really, there's so much intricate detail. It's like a work of art watching these things come together.
Absolutely. I mean, so much planning. I mean, to get everything so precise when you're building a ship like this as well, and then to outfit them with so much technology that Disney, that only at Disney you can see. It's like, you're right, Chase. And when you're on board, it's like a city, its own city as well. I mean, to think you're away
really
from 7 days and there's enough to do on the ship to keep you occupied for that, and then some. It's really like a floating theme park, to be honest with you. It's It's and then you've got
a nice floating theme park with a nice resort. You're good.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And then you don't forget you've got up to 2,000 crew on board as well, just looking after everyone. So it's an amazing thing, a cruise ship, and this will make number 5 for them, I believe, guys. Yeah, ship number 5.
Number 5.
So obviously, this was planned way before the pandemic, but we've got cruising that is happening right now, coming out of what's the port near you, Bryan? Just remind me.
Port Canaveral.
Yeah, Port Canaveral, just coming out of there. So that's really good news. I believe Disney's starting with 3-day cruises, something like that. What they're calling kind of testing cruises. So it's good to see it back. I believe some of the cruises have already seen a resurgence of a bit of corona, so they've decided to make sure everyone's vaccinated and now has rapid tests before they get on, which is a really great idea. I don't think we're going to get away from this pandemic too quickly, as we've seen in Australia and as we've seen over there with the new masks. And just to talk about just going back to Disney World again. So you've been in the park since the mask mandate have sort of come back. Yes, getting ready for Halloween there, I see. What was the sort of vibe for people wearing masks inside again, Bryan? Can you tell us what the reactions kind of were in the parks for bringing back the masks?
So obviously there were people that were happy to abide by the rule that got reinstated, basically. Then there were some that unfortunately did not follow the rule. Once they were past because there's a certain point once you're actually in the official queue, there's a cast member right there that tells you, okay, you have to have your mask on now. You're officially in the queue. Once they were far enough away from said cast member, there was quite a few people taking off their masks, or I'll show you. They were either taking them off, they were doing this, or making it a chin strap, or what have you. So unfortunately, it looks like there's a bit of people that don't want to follow that rule. So hopefully Disney can get maybe a few extra cast members that might walk the queue in those areas and just make sure they're enforcing it. Because otherwise it's going to be hard to contain this or keep it from getting worse. And I'd hate to see another shutdown or anything like that. So not that I think that's even a possibility right now, but if things get bad enough, who knows? But hopefully it won't ever get that bad.
And we talked about this last week, Chase, but quite passionate about this. But the only way out of this for everyone is to get vaccinated, right? So, if you want the mask sort of mandate to stop, particularly at Disney, just get vaccinated. When we all get to a certain percentage around the world and in the States, I know that things like this will stop happening. But until we all get vaccinated,
we did see an increase in vaccination actually over the last couple of weeks too.
Yeah.
70% now is at least 1 dose. So
that's good.
That's a big increase. Yeah.
So, you should.
And just in general, like with that, now that Disney is requiring that all of their new hires, any new cast members coming in, are required to be vaccinated. I have a feeling that Disney is going to prevent a shutdown of any of their parks at all costs, because it costs a lot of money. They have to furlough or get rid of cast members. I have a feeling that if there's a threat of the park having to shut down again, they're just going to require you to have proof of vaccination before getting in. You're just going to be like, sorry, you can't get in if you don't have a shot. Because they would rather have test or something. They would rather have a decreased number of people in the park than have none at all with locked gates.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you want to keep on going to, Disneyland and Disney World, I consider getting that shot, because it's not out of the question now that they start asking for proof of vaccination or a negative result on a test.
Just take a look at us down in Australia. Sydney's been in lockdown now for 8 weeks, and that's because the vaccination rollout didn't happen very quickly. Now, that's not the population's fault. It was a government thing. Unfortunately, they backed the wrong vaccine down here, so the government started rolling out AstraZeneca. Then we had a whole heap of side effect issues with the AstraZeneca, which, by the way, AstraZeneca is still very, very safe. It's 1,000,000 to 1 chance you get a very rare blood clot, but it did turn it away a lot of people from AstraZeneca, and we've only had a limited supply of Pfizer. So as Pfizer comes in, you see these sort of uptakes of the vaccine, and I think we're just getting past the 20% mark. I think about 40% with the first shot. So it's now starting to ramp up to where we should get to 70, 80% by sort of the holiday season they're looking at. So, this Delta variant is very sneaky. It's causing a lot of people to go to hospital and, in fact, pass away. So, look, the stats are, if you're above 50, you've got a 1 in 500 chance of dying if you catch the Delta variant. If you are vaccinated, you've got a 1 in 2 million chance of dying. So the odds really are with you to get vaccinated. And I'm sure that if enough people get vaccinated, things like mask mandates will go away. So if you don't like wearing a mask, get vaccinated. Yeah. It's the only way that we can all get through this. Anyway, we're very passionate about this. I just wanted to talk before we go, because, we've been talking now for over an hour. And as usual, when the three of us get together, it can be 4 hours. But I just want to talk about Halloween. Things have been starting to sneak through, I've noticed, on Shop Disney with merchandise for Halloween. We now know that both parks are going to have Halloween special nights. We do also know that Jack's going to be back at the Haunted Mansion down there at Disneyland. So that's fantastic news as well. That is really looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing
Haunted Mansion goes down this month for the refurb.
Yep.
And it'll be open in that first week or so of September. So it only takes them about 2 or 3 weeks or so to get everything put in place. So that's another reason to postpone my trip, because I want to go on the Haunted Mansion.
Absolutely. And being there for that overlay, it's so awesome, and it turns the magic. It really does transform that ride into something completely different. And the lineups are huge while it's running, so make sure if you want to go that you get into that line as early as possible.
And go in the day, because at night it doubles.
think we talked about that last week, didn't we, Chase? Yeah. So yeah, make sure, as with everything, you're prepared for a bit of a lineup with that in Disney. But we're starting to see a little bit of stuff that's coming through for Halloween, and I thought this was really funny. It was Star Wars Lego Halloween Rest in Pieces, which is coming out coming up for Halloween. I had a bit of a laugh with this today, so that's something we're looking forward to on Disney Plus. We haven't had much of a chat on what's been going on Disney Plus, but we haven't had Bad Batch yet to come out. We'll see it in the next few hours. Yeah, but we're looking really forward to that episode. Last week, we really got back on track. I felt the episode before that was probably, the one I didn't like the most, and this one was probably one of the best. And also, Bryan, as you said to me earlier on today, we're looking like we're going to have a season 2 for that. That's been announced, right?
That was announced. Yeah, 2022.
2022, we're going to get season 2.
2022. Nice.
And like what you were saying last week, Shay, there's no way we're going to wrap this up in one season. We always knew that was going to happen because there's just too much that
it's taken too long to resolve Omega's issues. So it's the fact that we're down to 2 episodes, it's just like what they did with Loki. It's like when you introduce the bad guy on the very last episode, it's kind of hard to not have a season 2.
Yeah, that's right. So so we're looking forward to that. Like there absolutely is going to be a pile up of stuff. Look, we're getting towards the end of the year as well. So guys, what are we expecting in terms of Star Wars on Disney Plus rolling into the end of the year? Like and Marvel as well. So Star Wars, we're looking at Mandalorian 3, right? We're looking at
the Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett, which they were saying December on that one, right?
December of this year.
And what about the other things that we're looking at, like Andor and also Ahsoka? Are we going to see those this year, do we think? We haven't heard much about them,
I believe those were next year. Ahsoka, year. They said 2022. Andor, right. I don't remember. Chase might remember. But yeah, I remember Ahsoka was 2022.
Right. Because and then what have we got? We've got Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so Obi-Wan, Kenobi, I think Kenobi is 2023.
Right. Okay.
And I mean, that'll put us like, we're going to get, I don't know about you, Bryan. I know you can't, John, but I'm still going to Celebration. It's going to be packed with the stuff for Disney, for Disney Plus. So I'm looking forward to Celebration. Yeah,
so that'll be a good place to find out a lot of what's going on. We're still looking at August for that, Chase, are we? For Celebration 22?
I think so. I'll have to look at that. They may have made it just a little bit earlier. And so not only do I have I kept my ticket to Celebration, I also kept my tickets to Star Wars Night. So and that's at Disneyland. So I'll be able to go to both of those.
All right, and we'll have you live here on Magic Partners Live when you're at those for sure. Absolutely. So, guys, we have overstayed our welcome once again. I'm sure we have. We're now at 10 minutes past the hour. First of all, I want to thank you guys for being with me, all three of us together once again. For Chase, make sure you go over to DisneylandToday.net. Make sure it's .net. Make sure you go over there, subscribe, and say g'day to Chase. Make sure that you subscribe to Bryan's Magic Life. We're pushing it up to 200 before October 1. We want to make sure that everyone is...
subscribers to go.
Yeah, and make sure that everyone's there for when these huge vlogs come out for the 50th. Bryan's going to be camping out at the gate on the 1st of October, so we're really looking forward to that.
The 31st of September, more like it.
Yeah. We're really excited to see those vlogs, so make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. And ask it. Bryan, any questions when you're over there as well? Say g'day. He'd love to hear from you. And And that will be it for us this week. Make sure, guys, that you subscribe to our channel as well, because we're here every week. As soon as we get off today, we'll be discussing the next date where we can all come back and see you. And we really do love bringing the show to you. So make sure you subscribe for all your Disney news, weekly over here. With that being said, see you later, guys. I'll talk to you. We'll be together a week from now. We'll let you know what's going on with that very, very shortly. Also, there will be a rewatch coming up to YouTube straight away. So make sure if you haven't seen the show that you rewatch from pretty much the end of the show. It'll be available, and I'll let you know on all our social media formats. Thanks, guys. To everyone out there, we've been Magic Partners Live, and we'll see you guys real soon.